Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Welcome tonight to this online webinar with myself, Simon Bennett. I'm so thrilled to be joined with just some awesome people who are going to be talking tonight and presenting with myself. I think it's fair to say that the four people who are going to be speaking tonight on this webinar all share the same passion, and that is for impacting health on a scale that we can only imagine, but also to just get out there and really make a difference, and just make sure that we're always trying to work at our hardest and serve the community in whatever that looks like for us with our health and fitness. And I wanted to just, start that by saying, by having all of us here on this webinar who work in the healthcare profession and the industry that we're in, we're all passionate for health. That's very high on our values, and we're all passionate about serving others. And the four of us tonight have put together a bit of a presentation showing you how we really show our passion for health and how we are actually serving others in a way that's kind of so rewarding and giving us a real abundant sense of enjoyment at the same time. So just a quick bit about myself. I work as a strength and conditioning coach, and I run my own facility on the northern beaches of Sydney. I have been involved in fitness, all through my life. My mum was a school teacher, a PE school teacher, and we were exposed, myself and my brother, to a lot of sports growing up. And when I first came out to Australia in 2005, I went through the qualifications and became a personal trainer, and then kind of worked from 2006 part-time in fitness right the way through till 2012, at which I got my residency here in Oz. And then decided to go into more sports strength and conditioning, and really wanted to home in on where I could kind of focus my passion, and that was in for strength and conditioning. And I was lucky enough to work with a Sydney-based S&C coach as an assistant coach, and in that year I started learning all the ins and outs of Olympic weightlifting, strength and conditioning, and going through the relevant accreditation providers here in Australia to get some certification behind me. In 2013, I opened up a facility on the northern beaches, servicing people for athletic performance in primarily endurance sports. And the journey for me has kind of gone on the last 3.5 years, but one thing that really hit me hard was around about 2016 last year, mid-June. I was experiencing a high amount of stress being a business owner working in an industry that was so physically demanding as well as mentally demanding. And I found myself at a state of really close to like breaking down with depression. I had more month at the end of my money. All the money was going out of the business, going on business expenses. And the first time I really experienced bad mental health, not only physical health, the shape I was in down that first week was the worst shape I've been in for many years. And I knew that I needed to change. And so the gent who's going to speak with me tonight, he introduced me to Isogenics, this company we're going to speak on, about 1.5 years ago. Before that, of which I just blank refused him, turned it down. My ego was strong. I worked in fitness industry. I knew all the ins and outs of supplementation. How could anything that you give me that's going to substitute anything that I'm already doing going to help? And this time when I came back round to him, I knew there was a need for change. And so I jumped on board with using this system that we're going to speak about tonight. And it's dramatically changed not only the way I look and feel, but the way I conduct my business, and also allowing myself to use these products in with my people, my athletes, my trainers, my clients, and not only get accelerated results with those, but also just see people improving their quality of health. And that is something that we're really going to talk about tonight. So that's just a little bit about me. Dave.
Awesome, Si. Cheers, buddy. And thank you for everyone for jumping on the call. So like Simon, I'm a strength and conditioning coach as well, and this has always been my passion. I studied sport and exercise science at university. I started working in a high performance center with athletes, and I've been so fortunate, and I'm so grateful to have worked with so many athletes from a range of sports, all the way from grassroots tennis, where we're teaching movement patterns, right up to getting a Winter Olympian to 2012 Winter Olympics, 2014 Winter Olympics. I work with football athletes, spent a lot of time working with women's FA athletes, and it's absolutely my passion to really get people to their true potential. And I guess where this ties in with Isogenics is that when I was introduced to Isogenics through my wife, I was already using a supplement range, right? You're blinded by professional ignorance and arrogance. And like Simon, I knew that what I was using at the time was absolutely the best to get me the results that I wanted. And the results I wanted was to put lean muscle mass on. So, you're doing all your separate supplements. I was using loads of different products, and we'll come to this later on. But at the end of the day, I wasn't getting the results that I really was training for and I should have been getting. I deserved to get those results, and I wasn't seeing it happen. So when Danny wanted to jump on the system and see if it was going to be the thing that would get her to lose weight, she told me to get on the system as well. I didn't have much choice in the matter, and I want you to check it out to see if it's going to be the things that are going to help A, her and her system, but B, will it help you as well? And honestly, I didn't think I needed it. I had all the tools in my toolbox, didn't need anything else. When I looked into it, I started talking to the science team, and we'll touch on this later on, but the quality of the products are unbelievable. And it's just a no-brainer to get it into your own training, because they cover off so many bases that other systems don't come close to. So I've been on the system for 2 years now. I put on 5 kilos of lean mass, and I'm still training, still getting PBs in the gym. And it's just the amount of people that you can get this to realize how it can help them is truly impactful for weekend warriors right up to professional athletes. It's incredible.
Fantastic. Well, as you know, we are going to be talking about this awesome company and product line tonight called Isogenics. They are solutions to really transform lives, and there really is something for everyone. And if you are someone who has clients that you already endorse a certain brand of supplementation or healthcare products, then just really tune your ear into what we're going to be talking about tonight, because there's something here for everyone. It really is.
So we're going to go on to start talking about, these 4 key areas where the Isogenics systems can really help. They're up on the screen in front of you. And what we're going to go into is the core products and how they can really progress and how it all works together. So I guess for me, a really important part of this was the science team behind Isogenics. You can't look at too many other companies and go past the fact that Isogenics has a team of full-time scientists that their sole role is to produce natural ingredients in such a way that have a massive impact on the body. And this is what their passion is, and they're damn good at it as well. So to have the backing of such a great science team is unbelievable. So yeah, let's jump into the product range. There's key components. The key things to remember is that they're free of artificial flavors, sweeteners, and other ingredients. It's all natural, and this is the first one. So I know, Si, this is something that really hit home with you. Let's jump into the shake.
Okay, so the Isoline shake. This is really the cornerstone of where Isogenics have composed these amazing. I don't think shake does them really justice with just that word, because what I see happen when people just get these nutrients into their body is something more than just, a shake that people kind of have that misconception of what this is all about. People need to understand that we have massive voids in our nutrition every single day, and there are gaps that we need to fill. And what Isogenics have done have produced these amazing meal replacement shakes that kind of fill those gaps. There's 24 grams of high quality undenatured protein. So the way the protein is extracted is cold pressed, which keeps all the live enzymes and doesn't heat any of the actual waste, so we don't kill any of those enzymes. So it's such a natural way of getting that protein into your body. It's packed full of trace minerals, as well as good healthy fats, as well as just enough carbohydrates to give you the energy that you need throughout the day. These are definitely hands down. They've also released a dairy-free option as well that they've introduced into the market last year. And for the gym junkies out there, they also have an Isoline Pro, which contains 36 grams of undenatured protein. And as you may know, really we want to really elicit the best protein synthesis. 20 to 40 grams is what we're looking for. So if you are someone who trains, you want to be looking toward the 30 to 40. There's 36 grams in the Pro. So these are an awesome product.
And this, we go on to the Cleanse for Life. So this was really the component of the system that made the biggest difference for me, because I was already using protein supplements, and a lot of you are in the field already know about protein pacing and how important it is. But cleansing aspect was something that I'd never done before. And what the cleanse does, it supports where your body is naturally going into a process of removing impurities from the body. And every day we're exposed to these impurities, whether it's in the chemicals in your car, there's chemicals in the sofa, pollution, perfume, whatever it is. And what happens to your body is that it takes those impurities and it stores them inside fat cells. Now, to remove these these impurities from your body, you need to support that pathway. And Cleanse for Life is a really gentle product with the body. What happens is that you'll go on a cleanse day or a way in which you can cleanse, and that's where you fast for the day and support your body by having this Cleanse for Life mixture of herbs and botanicals, which naturally supports your body's process of drawing these impurities out of fat cells and naturally getting rid of them. Now, it's not an aggressive cleanse by any means. You're not going to be in close proximity to bathrooms or anything else. It's really natural. And the support of this with your body is much better clarity. People feel like they've got more energy. And it's a key function that we don't address in a Western diet. And the benefits for this for your health are fantastic, and it's huge. And it's now well documented and peer reviewed.
Awesome. The Ionic Supreme. So we're exposed to different stresses every day. Environmental stress, stress from, it could be traffic, stress from your boss, your relatives, your kids. The body doesn't know how to deal with those stresses. So what we create is this free radical damage that can happen at a cellular level. So what's happening inside the body as well as outside of the body, these stresses are detrimental to our health. And we need to make sure that we are consuming a very, very high potent amount of antioxidants, as well as these botanicals and adaptogens that help us just deal with these stresses that we're having every day, whether it's something like pollution or, it could be anything from like your perfumes, your antiperspirants. These are all things that are clogging our bodies up, and our body can't deal with these stresses. Ionic Supreme is a good little green shot. You have 30 mils of every morning, and it just allows your body just to reduce those stress markers and give you a great mood for the rest of the day. Also, for people who struggle to sleep at night, this can actually help you just calm you to put yourself in a nice state of deep sleep. And it's something that we use every single day. It really is a game changer. And even clients of mine who just use this, they won't go back because they actually feel the difference. So yeah, this is fantastic.
Amazing. So already we're flooding the body with all natural vitamins and minerals that it needs to support natural function. We're cleansing the body to get rid of impurity, and we've got a system to deal with stress. Now, Isogenesis is a product that has been designed by Isagenix, which is really groundbreaking in what they've been able to achieve. And to give you an idea, there was the research that went behind this product, Isogenesis, won a Nobel Health Science Prize, the research that was incorporated around it. And what Isagenix has done is taken that and run with it. And it really shows, for me as someone using Isagenix, that they're on the forefront of product design and making sure that these ingredients are in our diet, because this is something that doesn't get done enough in day-to-day kind of diets. It's not supported. If you're curious about this product at all, it's really got to do with telomere length and making sure that our aging process is really well supported. And if you're curious about doing more research around this, then we can provide you with a lot of links to look into it. But it's really a product that shows that Isagenix is serious about this kind of input into your diet.
The Aegis Actives. What I love about this one is there's 3 key ingredients that really help support the body's natural aging. We've got CoQ10, generates energy within the cells. So your hair, your skin, your nails, our body starts to produce less of CoQ10 after the age of about 30. I know this is how we show the day-to-day signs of aging. Obviously, no one really wants to age as fast as they should do. So this is actually just going to help you with the aging process. Resveratrol is the active ingredient in red grapes, in red wine, and this supports good cardiovascular health. The amount of resveratrol you really need every day to actually support cardiovascular health, even though some people say a glass of red wine is good for you every day, it's the equivalent of about 60 glasses in this. So obviously we wouldn't encourage you drinking 60 glasses of red wine to get the same amount of resveratrol, but it's conveniently put into this capsule here. And then the last active ingredient is vitamin D3. And if you are in Australia or over in Perth, you'll agree that the sun is very powerful out in this country, of which we do actually hide from it, or we wear very high SPF proof sunscreen so that we don't get affected by the damaging sun here. And as a result of which, we are actually deficient in vitamin D in this country. So that's fantastic, the Ageless Actives.
Yeah, and you know what? Essentials for men and women, it shows that this product's designed for specific needs. Men and women have different demands of different nutrients and minerals, and that's provided in the system as well. So it's an excellent addition to this huge setup for nutrition.
And it's not just us who are going to be talking about the amazing products and the system that's put together tonight. We've got two amazing guys we've reached out to. They're based over in Perth. The first one is going to share his success story within this company and also with these products, and that is Mr. Rory Callahan. So, Rory, over to you, mate.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, great to see some familiar faces and some guys that I've invited from over in the UK. So, Steve and Tim and a couple other gents as well. So, I guess with me these days, if it's okay, I'm just going to be completely honest, completely blunt about it. You know, I've probably had I'm not going to go into the skepticisms and all the stuff about nutritional supplementation and all that, because the truth is there's a lot of companies out there. There's thousands upon thousands, and a lot of haven't done it well, and a lot of have got isolated solutions. But the reason this one really, and there's a lot of really good companies as well, I'm not going to lie about that. But the thing that really attracted me to these guys was the fact that the body is a system, it's an integrated system. And these guys had created a solution that matched the body. So the whole point about intermittent fasting, cleansing, nutrient saturation, but then also looking at the aging component and being like, well, not just, being healthy now, but healthy cells in the future. So, but before I knew about all this, I was working as a physiotherapist. So I was 100 hours a week. I was plugging into it. I'd done a bachelor's in exercise, sports science and exercise physiology. I'd been a semi-professional athlete myself. I loved fixing broken bodies, and that was my thing. So I learned how to do that with my physical tool, my hands, and learning, movement training, all the stuff the boys have talked about. But then I also knew there was a missing component in terms of nutrition. And we had sports dietitians and naturopaths around us. And the consensus was, all the stuff that was going on, all the stuff I was fed as an athlete and even as a physio, there was no real consistency to it. I didn't see a lot of real big changes. And also a lot of stuff I think a lot of our athletes were using was very synthetic and artificial. And, I came from a very small hippie town in Fremantle. So, everyone loved the farmers markets and stuff down there and knew the value of good food. So these things really intrigued me early on. But the thing that got me was when 25, I was pushing to do a scholarship at the Australian Institute of Sport, and I got burnt out. So I ended up being a health professional without my health. So I then had to become I was actually in the medical system as a patient rather than being a health professional. So this sent me on a year's journey trying to buy my health back. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Hopefully you never have to go into that space. But, I did all the Western medicine stuff, Ayurvedic, Chinese, spiritual healers, And, I got like 30% better and I was feeling pretty good. But then, I still just didn't feel normal. And that was what I was looking for. I just wanted to feel normal again. And then a good friend, Peter, she actually, she was a personal trainer I used to work with. And I saw she was doing something funky. She'd quit her PhD in bioenergetics and that type of stuff. And she'd started to partner with these guys. And that was a big move to quit her PhD. So that made me take notice and made me get on a call or a webinar or something like this. But it took me 9 months before, my health ego got out of the way. And I actually looked at it and said, I'm going to give this a crack. But the thing that got me over the line was I saw the key elements, the fact that you have to, it's not just about flooding the body with good nutrition. Like you need good digestive health, you need good gut health. So all the elements of aloe vera, bentonite, clay and stuff are in there. And then it was like nutrient saturation. I knew the best protein was from New Zealand, unddenatured whey protein. But then I also, just from working with athletes and seeing what the best of the best were using. But then I also saw that, these guys had the plant-based options for the vegetarians and the vegans as well. And then the minerals, the trace minerals and the other side of things. So that really caught my interest. And long story short, I just put it in my body. And hopefully this might be a little tip for you, is if you are one of those skeptical people, put it in your body and just let the sort of results speak for itself. But within 2 weeks, I went from being an iPhone battery that was at about 20% every day, napping between patients, wanted to exercise but couldn't, just because I had no energy. And I got up to about 80% of my energy as an iPhone battery within about 2 weeks. Digestive health improved, and then saw, the physiological changes, which wasn't a big issue for me, but it was a cool bonus, right? To see your six pack come back and things like that, which I hadn't had for a while. And then from there, I naturally started sharing with patients. I had patients that I was looking after for knee pain. They were overweight. I couldn't exercise them to lose weight because they just ended up with more knee pain, more back pain. And I saw them losing 10 kilos, with this program in, 4 to 6 weeks. Shared it with a mate, Tully, who's going to talk in a second. And then he went on to impact his family and his mum with the same program. So I just saw that this was just a tool that I could have in my belt. And what it's done now is I've collectively been able to impact about 20,000 people with one tool. And that's something that I never dreamed of as a PT or a physio. And it's just cool to have something that I can work with collectively and something that you can use for your health and potentially share as well. So that's it from me, guys. I'll probably finish there and hand over to Tully.
Yes, awesome share, Rory. And I love the fact that you just keep it straight and simple, mate. And yeah, the way that this system is put together really does cover every single aspect of the health that we're all searching for day to day. Thank you so much, mate. And let's move on to our next share as well, who is also a physiotherapist. Welcome, Tully O'Connor. The stage is yours.
Tunes in the background.
Yes.
How are we going, everybody?
Hey,
Cool. Well, I'll jump straight into it. So, as Rory touched on, he's the guy that shared the program with me. So before I came across Isogenics, the products and the company, I think somebody needs to mute their line. If everybody could just mute your phones, just so the recording's clear for everyone. Yeah, sweet. So yeah, I was working as a physio in private practice. I was actually pretty healthy. Like most of these stories before these kinds of things, usually people start like they're burnt out and then they get their health back. I was actually pretty healthy, but what I was noticing a lot in my practice was that a lot of people were coming to me, like Rory touched on, knee pain or back pain, but they were struggling with a lot of other aspects of their health. A lot of people were struggling with energy. A lot of people were carrying weight that they didn't want to carry. And that was all contributing to what they were seeing me for, but I couldn't actually physically help with all the other stuff. So I was always looking for something. And then Rory came to me, and it was pretty simple, really. Like I knew how anal he was with his research and all that sort of stuff. So I knew he'd done his due diligence for about 9 months. But the big thing was I saw the changes that took place. Like I saw what these products and what this system did for him. And so that was enough for me to have a look and to say, yeah, I'll have a crack and see what it's all about. Approached it with a healthy amount of skepticism, but I was pretty aware that no article I read, no video I watched was ever going to be enough to get me to back it. It was going to be once I put it in my body and felt it myself, and then I would feel comfortable recommending it to clients or to people I know. So I did that. I put it in my body. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I mainly did it to support mum because she wouldn't do it if I didn't do it. But within 2 weeks, I was blown away because I was a pretty healthy person, but I went from relying on 2 coffees a day to none. I was sleeping through the night. I didn't even realize I wasn't sleeping well until I started sleeping well. Started pulling up after workouts better, and I didn't change my training routine at all. And I put on 2 kilos of lean muscle in my first 30 days. That's when it clicked for me. I was like, whoa, if this system can do that to somebody who's already healthy, imagine what it can do for all these people that are struggling, all these people that have got weight to lose, that are struggling with energy. It can be an absolute game changer. And that's when I started to see the other aspect that Isogenics offers. And that's the fact that it's like a word of mouth referral based program. So I would share it with a client. He would lose weight. His family would ask him about it, and so on and so forth. So over the space of 6 months, I really saw this ripple effect happening. And fast forward to nearly 4 years later, I've impacted over 5,500 people. And in an entire physio career, I couldn't hope to impact that many people. And I've done it in 4 years doing this part-time. And the cool thing is the way this business model works is that it's simply a reflection of the fact that if you serve more people, you earn more money. And that's how the world works in every other aspect of business, and this is no different. And so as a result of that, I've been able to cut back my hours to, I'm working about 12 hours a week, but I'm getting paid like I'm working full time. And that's at the age of 28. So there's a few things. The two main reasons I partner with the company is obviously the products. Like without the products, there's nothing. But it's the results, because you could have the best, and I use home exercises as a physio as an example for this. So the stats are 1 in 10 people will do their home exercises from a physio, right? Does that mean the home exercises don't work? No, it means compliance is poor and people are lazy. So the fact that we've actually got a system that people are compliant with because they're doing it with people they know is a game changer. If you put this on a shelf and people went and bought it off the shelf, same system, they wouldn't get the results that they're getting because the support around it isn't the same. And it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what you can maintain. And the reason that the results are maintained, and this is supported with peer-reviewed evidence, is because A, the system is simple and compliance is good, and B, the support around it. So I pretty much got to the point where my next step was going to be, I got accepted to postgrad med, and I was going to go and study med as my next step, and I decided to forego that and commit to working with Isogenics and a lot of other side projects that I've got on the go as well, purely because of the impact that it's having all around Australia, but all around the world. So that's pretty much it from me.
Yes, Tolly, that was such a good share, mate. Thank you ever so much to both of you guys to come on to this webinar tonight and just give us a bit of an insight into, not only how it's affected your health, and two guys who were already fit, already active, already had a great level of knowledge in this industry, but also still got some fantastic results. And, I think the way you share Tolly with your guys and how that's just had that ripple effect, it really is. It really is kind of like wildfire once it really spreads, because the results are what spreads, and highlighting that support, I think, is so powerful. Cheers, boys. And it's not just the everyday person who is using Isogenics. There are also a team of athletes from all different walks of life, all different sports, that also use these products to get accelerated performance, to get faster recovery. People from like Natalie Cook, who I know on a personal level. I've met Rico, Jana Pittman, I know, uses this in winter and summer sports. And Dirk as well. I know David's actually had the opportunity of training alongside this guy. He is an absolute machine, and he follows his system as well. And it's really interesting. These guys are part of Team Isogenics, where there's some research and development that's going in behind the scenes on how to use their energy and performance range to complement their performance in the sport that they're paid to do. Which leads us into their latest range that was a game changer for me. I've wrote race nutrition plans for Ironman for this, using these products, as well as recorded a series of videos for people who want to use these products for strength training, general fitness, and also endurance training. And I'm going to start by talking about the first one real quick. I won't go into too much detail because I can talk about this one for hours. Nitric oxide in a pre-workout is what we call a vasodilator. So it just opens the blood vessels and allows nutrient-rich blood to go through to the working muscle as and when it's needed. And the way Isogenics have done it is in a remarkable way by they're using nitrates from plants, which are drawn from the soil that the plants grow in, rather than a synthetic form that a lot of other companies use, which give you all those horrible pre-workout kind of side effects with the sweat, the jitters, the top lip sweat. I've had them all before, and this is actually a garden blend. It's a potent shot that you will take before you go into the gym. You can have it up to 2 hours before you train, and it will allow you to really kind of switch on and allow more nutrient-rich blood going through to that working muscle. So that's the Nox.
Yeah, and the power and the recovery are there to set you up ideally and optimally for your workout, and then recover quicker from it. So power, the primary ingredient with this is creatine, and creatine is a very well-studied sports supplement, and it's also naturally occurring in our diet. But if you're deficient in creatine, then your body struggles to produce ATP for you to get these workouts done, and it's the energy system of the muscle. So if you increase this into the cell, then you're getting a much better workout from this because you can utilize the energy quicker. Amped Recover is your concentrated BCAAs, and it's really about giving the cue to your body after you finish the workout to stop breaking down muscle as energy and to start using other energy systems and protect that muscle and build that muscle quicker. So when Isagenix moved into this arena for pre and post workout supplements, I knew that they were going to come in with the same kind, no compromise in their quality. It was going to be the highest quality ingredients, and it's just a fantastic addition to the whole system.
Awesome, Dave. And all their products come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I think when you listen to what myself and the other lads have shared with you tonight, there's only one real difference between us and you guys, and that was the fact that we dropped the guard and we tried the supplements. We allowed them to come into our body, and we tasted them, and the lights just kind of went on from there. And this was something that really stood out to me, because I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to prove Dave wrong. This can't really be as good as everyone's making out to be. I'm going to give these 30 days and I'm going to send the whole box back because it's not going to work for me. Obviously that didn't happen because the results I got just spoke for themselves. But for anyone out there that really wants to put these to the test, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee that you can use with the products as well. So that's something that no compromise with their products is something to stand behind. And one of the things I wanted to leave you with before I just put up a few links that you can go to find some research if you do want for those healthcare professionals out there, is just for you to really sit back and think about where you are right now in the industry that you're in. You know, you're in an industry that you serve people and you're passionate about health, but you also know that you can only exchange a certain amount of time with your hands, with your craft, whatever it is, for income. And you can burn out very, very fast in this industry. I've been there, I've seen it. And if you are a personal trainer or if you're working as a therapist of some sort and you don't have a secondary income that is sitting in your back pocket that is just helping you along the way, whether it's going to be something that takes over or just something that takes the edge off every week when you can't guarantee your wage from week to week, then have a real strong think about what this could do for you. I've got close friends in this industry that are making good six-figure incomes out of this, building it in the pockets of their time, while they still get to be a passionate strength coach, a passionate physio. And I think the guys who have spoken tonight, between myself, Dave, Rory and Tully, we are all passionate the same way anyone is in this industry, but we are also people who want to make sure that we can live a good life and not be stressed and burnt out around, especially finance. So there's a couple of things you can jot down if you do want to kind of go into further research. Isagenixhealth.net. There are access to all the peer-reviewed journals from that link. Team Isagenix, I'm part of Team Isagenix. And also there are a series of Facebook support groups, and whoever invited you onto this tonight, they can hook you in and you can see the support that we give our clients. And that is how our clients get such good results. They are welcomed into a massive support network, and people help them through their 30 days and 60 days and 90 days. And that is really the game changer. So boys, I'm just going to unshare the screen, and I'm going to bring you back in here. So let's just get everyone on. And thank you ever so much for everyone who has come on tonight. Thank you to Rory. Thank you to Tully. You boys have been awesome. And also, big thanks to Dave down there. Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you, Si.
Still sat in his car after closing the gym at 8:30. Thanks, guys. So next steps from here.
So good.
If you want to reach out to the person who invited you onto this webinar, they can help you with any more information you need. And guys, I hope that was beneficial tonight. I will put this YouTube link up into some groups. I'll share it with Rory and Tully and also Dave, and you can get a link to this webinar to send off to your friends as well.
Awesome, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for
Have a
setting
good
it up, Si.
There you guys. Take care. Thank you.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
See you.